Tyson Fury, coming out of his Saturday, April 11th showdown against Arslanbek Makhmudov, was successful in his outing. But it was what took place after the fight that drew more drama than the fight itself. And looking ahead, maybe things are not going to work out the way that Turki Al-Sheikh, who has put things together, had intended. Let's talk about this situation. The heavyweight comeback fight that featured Tyson Fury taking on Arslanbek Makhmudov took place in the UK, and it was a successful outing for Fury in his comeback, where he said that he had been out of the ring for about 18 months. Now, the whole point of Fury's time away looks like it may have been just because he was doing other things. He's got a reality TV show that's also featured on Netflix, which hosted the fight. But the boxing public wants to see what's next for Fury in the ring. And so, though he was successful with a unanimous decision victory over Arslanbek, it was what Turki Al-Sheikh had said during the opening of the broadcast on Netflix that really put things in the ire for the boxing public. Al-Sheikh had indicated that there was a huge possibility of him announcing something great at the end of this night's fight, culminating with an announcement for the biggest fight in British boxing history. And that, everyone was under the presumption, would be something of the nature of Fury facing off against Anthony Joshua, who was ringside for this event, along with his overseer, Ed Hearn, representing Matchroom Boxing. And as Fury finished up his event, he called out Joshua, who was ringside. And it was interesting because Fury beckoned over the ropes to Joshua, hey, to come on up here so we can talk, and Joshua just looked at Fury and declined to get in the ring. Including Hearn, everything was left at a stalemate, and Fury was left holding his hand in the ring alone. It was an interesting situation. It is something that is more of the same that has gone on between these two men for the past decade. For whatever reason, the two of them will not get together to provide a fight for the boxing public. Both men are now in advanced ages. I believe that Joshua is 36 and Fury is 37. Both men have suffered losses in their careers and have squandered the opportunity to be able to provide the boxing public, as well as their own personal legacies, of asterisk that says that we've checkmarked all of our contemporaries. They have not. Now, Fury, more so than Joshua, has faced the likes of fighters like Usyk, twice, as Joshua did, but the other fighters in between, outside of Deontay Wilder, are not of note. But hold on. Joshua has yet to face Deontay Wilder as well, who just fought a week ago, and Joshua showed up at his fight. And when Wilder was leaving the ring, he passed Joshua on his way to the locker room and said, "Hey, let's get it, baby," and dapped it up with AJ. And AJ just looked at him, didn't offer any words whatsoever, with the weirdest facial expression. And it was like a total weird situation. His encounter with Fury was more engaging, but not in the positive. It's because Fury had opted to invite Joshua into the ring, and Joshua would not answer that call. Even with Frank Warren standing next to Tyson Fury, AJ just sat in his chair, told Fury that this was his night, and called Fury a clout chaser. Among other things, exchanges were made. But this is the thing. I don't want to get into who was saying what about this and that. I just want to acknowledge the fact that one of the biggest scams in the UK has been some of their top fighters facing one another in prime circumstances. You can remember Kell Brook and Amir Khan never faced each other when they were at their absolute best and most prominent names in the sport. These two men have done the same. They've allowed things to go by the wayside. I don't know what that means because I'm not from the UK and I'm not into their culture like that. But it is a problem. And I don't know. I can make guesses at why these two have yet to get it on. But the embarrassment that was shown to Turki Al-Sheikh is alarming because he was under the impression that this would transpire. And that's why he spoke as he did before the card had started, that we have something to announce later on in the evening after the culmination of the event. So Turki was left holding his hand in the ring, empty. So whether it was Hearn and Matchroom's idea or a consolidated effort by Matchroom and Joshua, why they showed up to this event only to sit there and not engage and not look to deliver. Because you have to understand that Turki Al-Sheikh probably had an agreement with these parties involved that this would transpire. And because Netflix broadcasts internationally across the globe, there were millions who witnessed this, and it was all for naught. So, being that it was really a creepy situation if you look at it from a business standpoint. And so the face-off and showdown in the ring between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua didn't take place. And they only have themselves to blame for future adventures because the public sentiment is going to rail against them behind this. People are tired of fighters who are the well-known guys who are supposed to bring and generate the revenue, and they don't want to do their part by following through after crossing T's and dotting I's. Turki Al-Sheikh also will take this as a major point of disrespect by Hearn, Frank Warren, Queensberry, and Matchroom. And they are fighting on the DAZN network, so they're going to have to understand that payback will be tough. And it's going to be interesting going forward how deals are made with these fighters. You see, that's what happens when you kind of overpay for people and the cat gets fat and doesn't want to chase the rat anymore. And you're looking at it. But believe you me, Turkey has already shown himself to be a fast learner. And he'll be even more quick and more discreet when it comes to opening up that huge bank account for future fights. But what do you think? This is Stormy B Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know what your thoughts are about this situation that transpired. Leave comments and let's discuss further.